Hello, today's lesson is all about repairing a footstool, which is this one here. I did a video on cushions and I showed you how to make this cushion, and this was done out of scrap fabric. This fabric was done from the bottom of curtains. Over the years I altered quite a lot of curtains. They're too long and I cut it off, and I'm left with quite a lot of these leftover material that I find very hard to throw away. So I thought today I will show you how to make use of your scrap fabric, whereby I made some cushions for you, and there's free joining in that you can see, and patchwork at the front. So what we're going to do now is, this footstool it needs revamping. It really does. So what we're going to do, I put this on 20 odd years ago, I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to strip this, and this fabric here was left over from a curtain job, so there's no need to get rid of it. So this is at the back of the cushion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this up, and just like the cushions, what I did is I put the bottom, making use of the pattern. I'm going to do the same with the fabric here. I'm going to put the fabric somewhere around here, there, and make something more interesting. So that's what we're going to do. But this time I think we're going to bond the web this on. So I'm going to prepare and strip this, and I will get back to you. First of all, I've got to unscrew it from here, and then I've got to take all this staple out, the staples out, pull it apart, take this off, this frame here, and then we just got to remember to put things back how we found them. So I'm going to do that now. I have removed it from the legs, and now I am going to pull this apart. We've taken the fabric off, and it's just a little bit bumpy and dirty. There's nothing wrong with this fabric here, so I'm going to leave it. But what I'm going to just do is just give it a little bit of a clean up, so the imprint of this rubbish doesn't come through onto the fabric. But you know me, I might put some interlining on to make it a bit more smoother, because the fabric that I'm using is a bit thin. So now that I've got my fabric off, the best thing for you to do is make use of this old fabric. So what we should do is use it as a template. So I've got 4 corners here, which is all I've stitched up some years ago. So I'm going to undo the stitching, open it up, and then you see the shape of it. So we're going to cut this again. So we're going to use this as a template and do that. Remember to move all the staples. So here's our main fabric, and what we're going to do now is to lay the old one on top of it. Making sure that your pattern is straight, and this is straight, so that is fine. I'm talking about these square here. You don't have to cut them out if you don't wish, but that is another chapter on how to put it back together. But I will cut them out. Even though we've cut these square out, what we do as well is we just go at an angle and cut it out further as an angle. I'll show you that in a sec when I take this off, so we can get a nice fit in. Right, so that's that. Once again, I'm sorry about this, but my fabric is cream and my table is white, so that is a mistake as well. So I should have something underneath it. Let me just put this underneath it so you can see what I've done. Here is a box. I've cut out a box, and furthermore I've cut out at a mitre a little angle to do it nice, and I've done that on all four corners, these as well, just to show you more in depth. Now I'm not going to, let me see, that's where that goes. So what I should do is, with the machine, I'm going to stitch that up there, but inside out. So I'm going to show you what I do. In my drawer of scraps, I found some bump, which is another type of interlining. So I'm going to use that. I tend to always give myself more work to do. Oh well. So this is where you're going to need a staple gun to staple it on. But this now, before I do that, let's just leave that alone. Let's design the pattern I'm going to use. Put a triangle there. Let's see if we can get 4 pieces of this. Let's go for the opposite side just in case I don't quite make it. So it looks like we can get 2 out of this strip. Don't forget, I'm making this up as I go along. Basically that's what you'll be doing as well. So that one goes there, and this one goes there. Leave it at that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to measure it out to put them equally, and then find the center of this, which is there. So I'll iron it, find the center, and nip it to be double sure, and then I'm going to find the center of the opposite, the center of here. I iron it because I like to see the iron marks in it when I'm doing my patterns. So I'll nip that there, nip it. And doing that should help me when I'm laying my pattern down. There's the center there, and there's the center there. So there's my line, center to center. Are you seeing this? I've got so far. Oh, I forgot to explain to you. As you can see, this is the bottom of the curtain. There's the mitered corner, and there's the lining still attached to show you that these are scrap. It's going here, and I'm going to stitch this there, under there. I'm going to stitch it going along there, hence the same with that side. And then when I stitch it, I'm going to flip it over, and then you will see later when this gets cut out, and then I've got my pattern here for the and now they're both being stitched down. But what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to put some Bondo web on it. Not throughout the whole lot, but just a small section, because this Bondo web that I've got is not very wide, but it's enough to do the job.